But when you have a chart and you want to have the legend that the chart comes with, by default, it'll come over here to the right. So you'll see the chart legend over here to the right and kind of the middle of the chart. But I wanted to escape out of this slide and show you what options you have when you want to keep that embedded legend here. So you can see here's my live chart. There's the legend that you have access to. When you right click, you'll click on Format Legend and the Format Legend menu pops up to the right. Now under Legend Options, you have the ability to change the position of the legend if you want to. So you could put it in the top right. That's kind of interesting. You can put it on the bottom. I wouldn't recommend that usually because your readers are going to start from the top and work their way down from the chart. You want them to see the legend first. So let's go ahead and click on the top. Now sometimes it's going to be positioned over top of the chart. So you might have to reposition the plot area just a little bit, take your cursor and sort of drag that. I kind of like it over here to the right. You can also just sort of click on the legend and move it around inside the chart plot area if you had a specific position. The other thing you can do is click inside the chart, just click twice to isolate one of the legend series, and then you can go ahead and update the text from there. You can see you can make it bold, you could change the color if you wanted to do that. That's kind of interesting too. One little trick also is, I'm going to go ahead and just put this back to black there. If you will click outside to make sure that we unselect everything, if you click on the chart here and then you isolate and click on the color of the chart, you can actually change the color of the bars. So anything that you update in the legend will also update in the chart. So instead of the text, I'm going to go over here to the drawing tab right here under the shape fill. If I change this color from green to blue, you can see now it updates in my legend and it updates in the bar. So that's kind of an interesting trick. If you wanted to just quickly change the color of your bars with that, you could do that too. You can also delete these one by one if you wanted to as well. So if you had a chart type that was really unique and you had a lot of different columns, but that you didn't want to show in the chart, for instance, you could go ahead and isolate that and just push backspace, and then you've deleted that one entry in the legend. But that's a little bit, those are kind of the ways that you can work with the default legend. And I think a lot of people just assume that since it's a chart and it has a legend, it comes with one, you have to keep it. Absolutely not. We like to make our own legends oftentimes. So I will delete this legend, and sometimes I'll put text boxes in the chart where there would normally be a legend, because we want the legend to be as close to the data as possible. So I'll show you one example of that. So here we could actually put the legend in a clustered bar chart like this on top of the bars. And so my 2025 text box is right on top of the green bar, and the 2024 text box is right on top of the gray bar. So these are just brute force text boxes. You insert a text box, put it right on top of the bar. You make sure they're nicely aligned and spaced. You could group them all together if you want to, and bada bing, bada boom, you have a really nice embedded legend. But there is a little trick that you can use if you want to make this a really dynamic chart and have that legend be completely embedded in the chart. And we've made videos about this before. We had a viewer question about a year ago that they wanted to actually position the labels or embed the labels of their legend on top of 3 clustered bars. And so we did this technique there. I'm going to do this technique right here because it's just a little bit easier with the 2 bars. So let's go back to our original chart here with my legend. I'm going to go ahead and just delete the legend, click on it, backspace. Now what we need to do is we need to add 2 columns to the backstage, the backstage viewing of this chart. So we're going to right click and click on Edit Data. The Excel window is going to pop up, and this is how that looks. What we need to do is add a column of data in between the 2024 and 25 and add a new column after 2025. And those are going to be my legend labels. So for right now in the 2024, I'm going to change the name here, 2024 data and 2025 data. I'm going to add that there. And then I'm going to click on column C right here. We'll right click and click on insert. That inserts a column to the left. So this is going to be 2024. I'm going to label that 2024. And then I'm going to tab over, or I'm actually going to click over here to E, and I'm going to say 2025. And when I push enter, that actually adds that column to this dynamic table. So what we need to do now is we need to add a series, we need to add a number to this, because you can see here in the chart, it's sort of updated. These blank spaces right here are where those columns of data will go. But I don't need to have data in all of the rows. I just need to have data in the top section right here. And right here, that's food and beverage. Excel always does things backwards. So the top bar in your chart is actually going to be the bottom bar in your data, unless you've manipulated the y-axis and changed arrange the categories in reverse or something like that. So right here, I'm just going to type in 100%. And over in 2025, I'll type in 100%. Now, when I do that, you can see these two bars pop up, the blue and the green. Let's go ahead. I'm just going to keep this data source window open for now so that you can sort of just see it kind of in action. So I'm going to go ahead on this blue bar right here and click to add a label. And I'm going to add a label to the green bar as well. You can see the 100% pop up right here. Now let's click on that label to isolate it. The Format Data Label menu pops up. I'm going to click on the column chart icon right here, and under, let's see, position, size, oops, I guess this is not what I want. This is the Format Chart menu still. So I want to go ahead and double click on this to make sure the Format Data Label menu pops up. Now I see that right here. If that didn't work, I think you can right click and just say Format Data Labels. The Format Data Label menu pops up. Good little trick to know. Under the column chart icon right here, under label position, you can see it's set to value. We want to unselect value, and then, oops, I'm actually going to go back here. Let's go back to Format Data Label menu. Once I did that, it made the menu disappear. So we don't want to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on series name. Now you can see that 2025 pops up there. Now I'll unselect value. And then what I'm going to do under label position is we're going to put it inside the base. So that moves it from outside to inside of that bar. And now the very last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this the blue bar and make it no fill. Perfect. So now there's no, it's kind of a bar that just sort of disappeared for us. It's a fake dummy data, dummy bar. And I'm going to do the same thing with this label. So Format Data Label menu open, the column chart, we're going to click on series name, that's 2024, unselect value, so just the 2024 shows, and I'm going to put it inside the base. And now I'm going to turn the green bar no fill. Perfect. Now what I need to do is I'm going to go up to click on my chart so that the chart design tab is open. I'm going to click on the chart design tab and go to change chart type. Change chart type, and now I'm going to make sure that this goes to the combo. If you are up here on bar, we want to go down here to combo, and you want to make sure that every single bar is set to clustered bar. So mine is perfect, but yours might not be. So if yours changes and kind of gets wonky, just make sure that you update all of these drop-down menus to the clustered bar. Everything should be on clustered bar. And then the secondary axis box, nothing should be selected right now, but we're going to put the label text, the label bars onto the secondary axis. So under 2024, I'm going to click on secondary axis, and under 2025, I'm going to click on secondary axis and then push OK. When I do that, everything kind of updates. You can see this gets a little bit wonky. The secondary axis goes to 120. We don't want to do that, so we could update that over here. If we wanted to update the maximum, we could go ahead and just put 1 there, and now that updates everything. I could delete that secondary axis then anyway. And you can see, I'll close out the Excel window. Now, my labels are perfect. And so now from here, it's just formatting. So I'm going to go ahead and just make those bold, make those white, maybe increase these to 20 font. And if I wanted to just go ahead and click this label here, use the format painter right here, click the format painter, click on 2024, and that copies the formatting over. So that was pretty cool. Now the bars are orange. If I wanted to keep them green, I'm just going to have to go ahead. Oops. And when the thing is, that kind of puts that secondary axis data on top. Those bars are on top of the other bars. So you can see when you click on this bar, that's actually clicking on that 100% kind of dummy bar right here. You can see that over here. It goes all the way to the end. So if I click on the one below it, there's no dummy series of data there. So the orange bars will highlight, and I can go ahead and update the color with green right here, and so then I have my nice chart. And if I can put that in slideshow mode, you can see I have a really nice embedded legend there on top of the clustered bar. It's pretty cool. Now, some people that I've shown this to, they will ask me, yeah, but you need to have the 2025 and 2024 on all of the bars. You don't need to do that. You just need to have them on the top set of bars, because this is effectively a chart legend. So normally you'd only have one place in the chart where there is a legend, and people would look at that and then understand what the bars meant. So in this case, we're substituting that legend off to the side to a legend inside that first set of bars where your eyes are going to be immediately drawn to. So let me know if you do this little workaround in the comments below and how it works for you. If you do like this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up and make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it. You'll get notified every time I post a new video in data design, usually PowerPoint, Excel, or Word. Had a great time making this for you, and I can't wait to see you next time.